It's that time again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kingslayer Hoops! Today I'm going to be showing you guys my triple-double god OP center build. I'm just using all the clickbait phrases, but really, you're going to get a lot of triple doubles with this build. So let's just jump right into it. So first of all, the pie chart you're going to choose is the blue and yellow pie chart. The yellow is very important, and out of all the center builds that I've chosen before, you get the best results with this one. Okay, now as for the physical profile, personally, I am not concerned with speed and acceleration for my center, so I'm going with this pink and blue, emphasizing the strength and the vertical. We want the vertical for rebounding and finishing and things like that. Okay, so let's look at the finishing attributes first. So I'm going to max out close shot because I'm going to be using a lot of post moves with this build, and for that reason I'm also maxing out post hook. Now, driving dunk, I'm going to max out as well, and the primary reason for that, I know a lot of people who have been making these center builds have been saying, oh, I'm not going to be driving with a center. But you are, because if you're using the post spin a lot, guess what? That attack to the basket counts as a drive, and you want to finish those off with dunks. Now, to me, I'm not even touching driving layup because I want to dunk those. It hasn't been a problem for me in the couple of playthroughs that I've done so far, so I personally am maxing out driving dunk. And standing dunk I have almost maxed. I took 2 away. It's still at a 93. You really don't need any more than that. It's already pretty OP. I assure you, you won't notice any difference with that 93 compared to a 95 standing dunk. So let's move on to the shooting attributes. So as you can see, this is not going to be a shooting build. I am maxing out mid-range and 3-point if I need to hit open shots, but that is obviously not going to be my primary objective with this build. Free throw, I'm bringing up to a 72 so I can get some badges. And post fade, this is just personal preference. I maxed out post hook but not post fade. You can make your decision on that. I like hooks. I think hooks are more effective than fades based on what I've seen so far. You might want to sacrifice some finishing badges for some shooting badges, and you might want to max out post fade instead of post hook. So that is entirely up to you. This is just my preference. Playmaking. I am maxing out post moves. I want this to be a post scorer primarily, and passing accuracy I am going to put at 60. 60 is perfectly fine. You can go a little bit higher even if you want, but you don't need to max out that passing. You're going to see in the gameplay that I'm going to show later that I get plenty of assists, no problem. Just make smart passes, and that's not going to be an issue at all. I am not touching ball handling. If you're a big park player, for example, and you want to mess around with the ball handling, you can do that. Maybe take a little bit away from one of these other areas, maybe some of the finishing areas. But for me, I like to play rec. I like 5-on-5 basketball, or maybe even 3-on-3 in the park, so I'm really not touching the ball handling. And finally, for defense and rebounding, I'm obviously going to max out interior defense. I'm going to max out defensive rebounds and blocks. And offensive rebounding, I'm going to put up as much as possible. That was everything I had left over, so I'm putting that at 68. I don't really care about perimeter defense, lateral quickness, or steals for this build. Again, you guys have a little leeway of what you could put here and there, but I'm telling you, the way I built this build right here, this defense is perfectly adequate. You're not going to be getting like 10 blocks a game with this or anything like that. I think in the gameplay later I only got 1 block, but interior defense to me has always been more important than blocking anyway. So let's show you guys the badges now. As for my height, I am keeping my guy at 7 feet tall. 2K seems to be really punishing dudes for trying to be tall this year, because if you move up to even 7'1", you lose a lot of attributes in a lot of categories. So I personally am just going to be safe. 7 foot is tall enough, man. There aren't a lot of 7'3" guys in the NBA anyway, let's be honest. So yeah, let's move on. Weight I am putting at 275, and the reason for that, if you look closely, you can see that you do lose 1 in driving dunk, but then you gain 4 in interior defense. To me, that is a very fair trade-off. You can still get contact dunks with a 69 driving dunk rating. And obviously the +4 in interior defense. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't put it at 275. And then I am going max wingspan. Now, keep in mind, you do lose 2 from three-point shooting and 1 from mid-range. But you're still a competent shooter. You lose a little bit from ball handling, I don't care about that. And you lose 2 from post moves, but you're still at a 92 post move rating. And then you get +4 blocks. So to me, totally worth it to max out your wingspan with this build. Takeover, this is obviously your preference. You can get post scorer or rim protector. I find the post scorer takeover to be more fun, so I went with post scorer. And then if we look, we can see we made an interior force. I don't like the Valanciunas and Whiteside comparisons at all, but David Robinson, that sounds about right. We're like a passing big man who can also dominate in the post and defend a little bit, so I like that comparison. So we get 20 finishing badges with this build. As I said, I'm going to be post-centric and finishing-centric. I am going to max out back down Punisher so I could post. Drop Stepper is a must to have on Hall of Fame with this build. Contact Finisher and deep hooks for sure. Again, we're maxing out deep hooks because I maxed out the attributes on that. But if you're more of a post-fade person, like I said before, you can focus on that instead in the shooting badges. Now, I am also putting silver on Lob City Finisher and Pick and Roller, just to have a little bit of fun with the Lob City Finisher. I do like catching lobs. And Pick and Roller, obviously, you're going to be running some pick and rolls with this build if you're playing online. A lot of guys are not going to want to even pass you the ball in the post. I'm just being honest with you. So yeah, I'm putting both of those on silver just so I can play off ball a little bit if I'm playing with some selfish, 13-year-olds online or whatever. Okay, so shooting badges, we only get 3, and I am spreading the wealth a little bit here. Obviously, shooting is not the primary objective of this build, as I said, but I am going to put bronze catch and shoot, quick draw, and range extender. It's going to help a little bit. And as long as you can time your jumpers decently and you have a decent internet connection, you're only going to be taking open jump shots. Don't take dumb contested shots. You're going to be fine. You'll be a perfectly adequate shooter. Both from mid-range and from 3. For 3, you kind of want to keep it to corner, easy 3-pointers, but you'll be able to knock down a couple open ones per game. Okay, now for the fun part, playmaking. I am maxing out post-spin technician, because I care about that a lot. Dimer, I am putting on gold. You need gold dimer at least with this build. And I am seeing a lot of people who are making center builds saying that you don't need quick first step. Yes, you do. If you are doing face-up moves out of the triple threat, you do need quick first step. You're not doing dribble moves, but you do want to have that advantage in the face-up. And I think it also came up when I did the spin dunk animation where you double tap square while driving to the basket. I think it came up for that as well. I could be wrong about that, but anyway, so I want those 2 on gold. Break starter, I put on silver. I want to get easy assists off of rebounds. And unpluckable, I am also putting on silver because it does come up when you're backing a guy down and someone tries to swipe at you. Unpluckable does activate in those instances. So if you're a post player, you actually do want to consider putting bronze or silver on unpluckable. And then finally, we get 10 defense and rebounding badges. I am maxing out rim protector and rebound chaser at gold. And then I am putting box out and brick wall both at silver. These all kind of go without saying. I know they're going to nerf brick wall a little bit. Honestly, in the demo, you don't need to do anything to brick wall at all. But this is just in preparation for when the actual game comes out and they end up nerfing brick wall. Because right now you are like murdering guards that run into you when you're setting screens. So yeah. And finally, for my jump shot, I am choosing Karl Anthony Towns. That is my favorite big man jumper currently in the demo. But without further ado, guys, we are going to jump into some gameplay. If you haven't watched my post moves tutorial yet, I will put the link in the description. That is going to be the foundation of all the post combos videos that I'm going to be making this year. I'm doing a whole series on that, so be sure to check that out in the description. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment to support the channel if you haven't done so. Enjoy the gameplay, and until next time, happy gaming, y'all.
2K20 and the My Player build process is what it's all about, baby.
One of us was able to have
fitting in is paramount. You know, you're going to play in multiple systems, so can you adjust your game? We'll play young players. They'll play really whoever is best, and you'll get a fair shake if you end up going with a my player big in this organization.
He was right there.
Here's my player. Lays it up and banks it in.
For mid-range.
Toronto is in a strange spot. They just won the championship and a big gamble, but they start.
I do think they want the young guys who can win now. The East is still open, and Toronto is still, I think, a player away from returning to the finals, as we saw last year.
Powell, my player, goes up on the block. Again, Toronto.
Every game, it seems like Siakam alters a lot of shots. That one he sends back.
And I'm intrigued by the idea of my player outside. And they double up my player. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws for him.
And he's a great three-point shooter.
Here's my player. Lowry bangs home the trifecta. Pass to my player. And my player throws it down. Losing Kawhi. What can they do to get back to the promised land?
Well, it starts first and foremost with 2019 most improved.
And Lowry. But who is the next star? Could it be OG Anunoby? You just know Nick Nurse wants some younger guys to test out.
Johnson. He's covered by Thompson. Here's my player. He just can't miss.
Not only is the game neck and neck, but the rebounding battle is too. Very tight game on the boards.
Yeah, both teams have put in a...
9 for 9, looking deadly accurate, and he can't miss.
Man, and then deliver a pinpoint pass, Tim. Few centers in this league can do that with such consistency.
Unselfish to the core.
Now here's Lowry. 9 points in the game. Here's my player, and my player throws it down. Now here's Lowry. Here's my player, and my player throws it down.
Inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
6-point game. Here's my player, and my player throws it down.
Using incredible floor vision to find the open teammate, Lowry is a top-notch point guard.
Here's my player, and so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2 here. They lead by 4. To the inside. Here's my player, and my player throws it down.
And doing a good job of looking to include his teammates, Kyle Lowry just continues to make plays.
It's stolen by Hollis Jefferson. Fast break, here come the Raptors. Pass to Ibaka. That one drops for him. He's off on the second. Here's Van Fleet. That one good for 2. Here's my player. 3 seconds left. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass.
Go to him.
I'm impressed with his body language, his confidence. It just seems so in control of everything he's doing out there. Surrounded by superstars like Clay has, you learn to keep your eyes up.
And that one's good, my player. Thompson for 3. And it's my player with the rebound. And my player throws it down.
Unstoppable offense for both teams. I love the pace of this game.
Yeah, the pace is only picking up.
Back to my player. And my player throws it down.
And looking for his shot.
Pass to Ibaka. And finished off by Serge Ibaka. My player. Ibaka inside. My player grabs the miss. Pass to Siakam. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.